It's time to take a leisurely cruise around the rivers of America as we head to Magic Kingdom to ride the Liberty Square Riverboat on this episode of Attraction Checklist.
You're listening to Saturday Morning Media. And now, back to our show. My name is Grandpa Choco, and I invite you to join me on my quest to learn about and experience every Disney park attraction I possibly can. This is Attraction Checklist.
Welcome to Attraction Checklist. This episode, we're headed to Magic Kingdom to hop aboard the Liberty Belle for a cruise on the Liberty Square Riverboat. The Walt Disney World website describes this attraction saying, "Cruise the scenic rivers of America aboard an authentic steam-powered paddle wheeler." There are no age or height requirements for this attraction, and the thrill level describes the attraction as being a slow ride. Now, before we shove off, here are 5 fast facts about the Liberty Square Riverboat in Magic Kingdom. 1. The Liberty Square Riverboat attraction opened at Walt Disney World on October 2nd, 1971. The first boat that served the attraction was called the Admiral Joe Fowler, named after Joe Fowler, who was in charge of construction at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. In 1973, a second riverboat was added, named the Richard F. Irvine. In 1986, that boat was renamed to Liberty Belle, which still runs the rivers of America today. An interesting note is that the original boat, the Admiral Joe Fowler, was damaged in a dry dock accident and had to be retired in 1980. 2. The Liberty Belle is a steam-powered stern-wheeler replica. Stern-wheeler means that there is one paddle wheel on the rear or stern of the ship. A steam engine pulls water from the rivers of America to turn to steam to power the paddle wheel. 3. The Liberty Belle is 47 feet tall and features 4 decks that can hold up to 450 guests. 4. During the 17-minute trip, a narrator in the voice of Mark Twain points out the sights guests see as they travel down the river, including an early American settlement, a Native American village, and Big Thunder Mountain. And 5. The captain on the narration track is named Horace Bixby, who was a real riverboat captain who mentored Samuel Clemens, aka Mark Twain. Let's head to Liberty Square for a ride on the Liberty Belle. After the ride audio, I'll give you my thoughts on this attraction, and this is a binaural recording, so if you have headphones, put them on now as we ride Magic Kingdom's Liberty Square Riverboat.
Last call. Secure all cargo. All passengers aboard. Cargo secured. All passengers aboard, sir. All hands stand by. Engine room. Reverse 1/4. Valve. Cast off valve line. Aye, aye, sir. Valve line away. Engine room. Head 1/4. Sound last bell. Leadsman, sound off. Give me a depth reading by the mark. By the mark. I'm your captain, Horace Bixby, and my pilot with me here on the Texas deck is a young fellow that goes by the name of Sam Clemens. He's working his 100th voyage down the river today with very telepathy. Sam knows this river like his own backyard. Sam, tell our guests everything you know about this river.
Well, now, I always figure it is better to keep your mouth shut and stupid than to open it and remove all doubt. But I will tell you this. I love this river more than anything else. I've loved this river even from the time I was a toddler back in Missouri. Before we get too much further out of port, I think I should mention that you best not be sitting on those handrails. They're the only thing between you and the river, and the river don't always take kindly to uninvited guests. We've also had reports of river pirates operating in the vicinity, so I wouldn't lean out beyond those rails for that reason either. Now, for those of you on the port side, that river town we're passing is frontier land. A few years back, it was no more than a boom town carved out of the wilderness by a handful of settlers looking to start a new life. Today, gentility and decorum are running rampant. Oh, it still has its share of footloose trappers, keelboaters, prospectors, and an Indian or two, but mostly it's flush times and well on its way to becoming a fine big city. Frontier land reminds me some of my own hometown, Hannibal. It takes me back to when I was a barefoot boy growing up alongside the riverbanks. You know, it seems to me that when I was younger, I could remember everything, whether it happened or not. But as I grow older, I seem to remember only the things that never happened at all. That island over across the way on the starboard side was my stomping grounds when I was young. Exceedingly young. Marvelously young. Young by hundreds of years. Younger than I will ever be again. It's called Tom Sawyer's Island and is named for a friend from my boyhood. Even today, the only way you can get there is by raft. Old Man Harper's grain mill is there, back in the woods just off Tom's Landing. And that's Muck Potter's Pond and his windmill. We almost hang once, and there's Huck's Landing. I always did like Huck. He could swear just wonderful. He and Tom and I spent most of our wild and reckless youth exploring that island. Lots of caves, lots of adventure, if you know where to look. And we all knew where to look. That's Superstition Bridge. It connects the Big Island and the Little one. And if you follow the Wilderness Trail there, it'll lead you right up to the gates of Fort Langholm. It's the last trading outpost before we head into Indian country. Look over the port side there. Every now and then, the water under that crest of rock comes to a natural boil and squirts out all over the place like a tea kettle left on the fire too long. The Indians around here used to tell me these guys were actually unfriendly spirits, upset by uninvited trespassers traipsing all over their sacred hunting ground. He had as May. That's Big Thunder Mountain poking up in the sky over there. The Indians named it that because of the sound the falls used to make when the big rains came. The miners and prospectors and get-rich-quick speculators showed up, and the name stuck because of the sound of blasting powder going off every few minutes. There's not so much blasting with the blues. Ghost stories about a runaway mine train loaded down with simple-hearted, terror-filled folks like you. Look who's drifted out of the bayou. Off the port, Captain. It's Beacon Joe.
Oh, Beacon's been marking this river longer than I can remember. Every time the river cuts a new channel, old Beacon puts me a marker to let us know whether it's safe to travel over. However, Sam here has been bragging that in which case you should, he could navigate the Liberty Belle on a heavy dew. Isn't that so, Sam?
Well, I was born humble, Captain, but mostly it's worn off. Captain, Indian village to port.
Now that's something you don't see much out this way. That's an Algonquin Indian village. Looks to be from the mountain front. But usually they stay further east. I've seen Seminole and Miami this far west. And of course Shoshone, Blackfeet, and Crow, but I've never seen Algonquins out here.
Lots of game out this way. I've seen moose and deer and plenty of other critters along the shoreline.
That could be why the Powhatans are out this way. Just following the food trail. Bed of death. After nightfall, they'll return to warn the great warriors for honor to the tribe.
Attention deck watch. Shoals to port and starboard. Engine room, steady on.
We're entering shallow water, but there's no cause for worry. Sam knows every shoal and shallow, every snag and sandbar in this part of the river. And he'll navigate us through to safe water. You wouldn't steer us along, would you, Sam?
I believe we ought never to do wrong, Captain. Especially when others are looking. Leadsman, sing out.
Those of you that have been this way before know that the water can get fairly shallow along this stretch of the river. The leadsmen call out the depth. Each mark is a fathom or 6 feet. Mark 20 is 2 fathoms, and for us that means safe water.
Captain, we're passing Cutthroat Corner. Attention deck crew, stay alert. If there's river pirates out here, this is where they'll most likely be. I can hear them from here. But from all the commotion, it sounds like their interests lie elsewhere. If you folks on deck look past the trees on the island, that's Fort Langhorne. Most of these old forts started out as trading posts. Then as settlers started heading west, the army came in and took them over. My feeling is, these days, there's a lot less frontier and a lot more civilization than is truly necessary. Leadsman, give me a depth reading. Sing out.
By the mark, and
back over yonder there in the woods? I've heard folks hereabouts say it's haunted. They say it was built on sacred Indian burial grounds, so now it's filled with spirits. If you ask me, I'd say the ones telling those tales are the ones filled with spirits. If you want proof, just ask them. They got it. About 100 proof, I reckon. And whatever you do, don't strike any matches if they aim to breathe in your direction. Or you won't just be seeing ghosts, you'll be joining them. We're approaching Liberty Square, which is home port for us. We'll be putting into dock shortly, so those of you on the upper two decks might be of a mind to collect all your parcels and head to the lower deck. Got young'uns, you'll want to take them in hand before they get out of hand. On behalf of the captain, myself, and the crew, thanks for flying the waterways with us. I hope I see you next time round the river bend.
Thanks, Sam, and thank you, everyone, for traveling the rivers of America with us today.
Engine room. Approach levee at 1/4 steam. Man the bow line. Purser, check freight and cargo. All hands prepare to dock. All passengers, stand by to go ashore.
Welcome back to Liberty Square. At this time, please gather your personal belongings and take small children by the hand as you make your way to the lower deck to exit. That will be our very bottom deck, all the way down, down, down to the deck closest to the water for our one and only exit. You may use any one of our 7 staircases to reach that very bottom deck, forward, aft, port, or my personal favorite, starboard. You watch your step as you exit off the lower deck and enjoy the rest of your day here at Magic Kingdom.
And there you have the Liberty Belle Riverboat here at Liberty Square in Magic Kingdom. That's the first time I've ridden it, done the full circle. Very similar to its Disneyland counterpart, but lots of different fun things to see. I wish they would have mentioned the Country Bears. They talk about Frontierland, and they talk about all the attractions you see as you go around, but they don't really talk about the Country Bears. And I mean, I understand right now, the time of this recording, the Country Bears is down because they're going to do their new show. But anyway, nice leisurely thing. Again, first time I've done it. I need to get over to Tom Sawyer's Island because I have not done that here at Magic Kingdom. But not a ride I would probably do every single time I come. But definitely a fun time to do. And I was on the middle deck for this recording, but I think when I went down to the lower deck, I was like, oh my gosh, the lower deck is like so much cooler, and I should have just been down there. So, sorry if I acted weird just there. I had a giant Florida bug land on me. There you go. There is the Liberty Belle Riverboat here at Magic Kingdom.
Do you agree or disagree with my thoughts on this attraction? Or do you just want to let me know what attraction we should go on next? Send me an email at hello@SaturdayMorningMedia.com, and you can also connect with the show on Facebook or Instagram by searching for Attraction Checklist. And be sure to visit Facebook or Instagram to play our Where in Disney Parks audio puzzler game. This episode was edited by Steven Staver. Attraction Checklist is a production of Saturday Morning Media and made possible by the Saturday Morning Media Patreon patrons who've gone to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media and set up a monthly pledge for as little as $1 a month. Depending on the pledge level, patrons get new episodes before they are released, downloads of the ride audio recorded for each episode, and exclusive bonus episodes featuring attractions from other theme parks. Patreon patrons at the producer level and above who get a special shout out are Eve Cunning, Kathy Crawford, Tony Urbano, Brandy, David Akers, Paul, Scott Armstrong, Vicky Sebring, Ricky Chavez, Jeff Toro, and Lee Thompson. If you'd like to support the show and the other fun content from Saturday Morning Media, become a patron. Head on over to patreon.com/Saturday Morning Media and set up your monthly pledge today. You can also tell a friend about the show or leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you so much for listening. Attraction Checklist is copyright 2025 Saturday Morning Media Grandpa Choco executive producer, all rights reserved. www.SaturdayMorningMedia.com.
You've been listening to Saturday Morning Media. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.